Welcome back to craft time. And I've just realized that I'm wearing red in this red room again. I don't learn. I really don't. But I think there's enough light here that it's not alarming. There we go. Okay. I didn't check to make sure that we had sound. Maybe I better do that whilst I'm sitting here by myself anyway. Yes. Okay. So that is up, but I am going to go into the event to say live now on the Facebook page. Alrighty. We are going to make some paper bag snowflakes. So here's one that I made. I got it a little bit crumpled. It's a little bit crumpled. But here is the paper bag snowflake that I made. It was in the picture of the event so that you have an idea of what we were doing. So this is what we're making. And I am using the good old standard paper bags, like the no-named, flat-bottomed lunch bags. Okay? Now, you're going to be better off if you have the lunch bags that just have the seam on the bottom that kind of like, what do you get in, what? Like sometimes not craft stores, but small stores that use paper bags have the bags that are just glued on the end. Do you know what I mean? They're not flat. This is a flat bottom bag. Ideally, you would have bags that aren't flat. But for me, that was going to require a trip to the store. And I was already not interested in that. So I've got just the plain old paper bags. And if you are like me and have the flat bottom paper bags, our first step is going to be to cut off the bottom. So that we have, well, right now we have a bag with no bottom, but we'll rectify that momentarily. But we're going to cut off the flat bottoms. Every time I say flat bottom, it just sounds so terrible. So regular paper bag, just popping the bottom up and then just cutting it off. That is our first step. Now this big one that I made here, this guy, how many bags did I use? I think I used 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 was fine, but it was a tiny bit of a challenge to get the two ends together. So this time I'm going to make my snowflake with 8. So again, just the regular old lunch bags, but we're cutting the bottoms off. If you happen to have the bottom or the bags that do not have a flat bottom, paper bags, not plastic. I don't think plastic's going to work. You are ahead of the game. You don't have to cut anything. But we, as in me, are going to cut those. I've already lost track. 4. 5. What could be more exciting than watching you cut the bottoms of paper bags? 6. Now, once you get all the bottoms cut, again, if you were going to make a whole bunch of these and you were going to stores still, buying a bag of the paper bags that are just sealed at the bottom to begin with is going to cut out this step. But I just happen to have all of these and I wasn't going to go to the store to buy more. So what we need to do is we need to make this back into a bag because right now it's not a bag. So you can do a couple of things. The first one I made, this one, I used my hot glue gun and glued the bottoms, but this time I'm going to try something. So I'm going to try just stapling the bottoms shut because you're not going to put anything in it. It doesn't need to be, it can have a little hole. So I'm just going to staple the bottoms of all of these. So I'm stapling 3 times. And the reason I'm stapling 3 times is because, of course, when you open it, it has all those folds. So I want to get the folds, and one in the middle. This is a trial run. I haven't done it this way before, but I think it's going to be a little bit less bulky. So if you have a stapler, you could also just use some tape to tape the bottom, I think that would work well too. The hot glue does work, but because you have those folds, whoops, that's the wrong side. Because you have those folds, you have to glue on the up here and down there, and it's just a little bit of a pain. So we'll staple all of those together. Okay, so we now have a stack of flat paper bags. Very exciting. So I've got my glue gun off to the side, and it's been heating up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a line of hot glue along here and then along the center, and then I'm going to stack it on top. So I'm going to put the hot glue on. You want to go fairly close to the edge and then down the center so that you're making a T shape. And then you're just going to put one on top of the other. Don't burn yourself. So this is why in the description I said that regular glue or even a glue stick probably would work, but you'd want to do this in stages because you want to give time for that glue to dry, whereas hot glue, it sticks pretty quickly. So I'm just going to do that same thing, glue across the top, then down, and I'm going to stack all of these one on top of the other. So you'll just have to watch me sitting sideways for a minute while I try not to burn my hand. This glue, hot glue gets hot. So be careful because a paper bag is not very thick. So you can still burn yourself through 2 layers of paper bag. And anyone who's ever had a bad hot glue gun burn knows how rotten they can be. This is going to get more exciting here in a second. But first we got to glue these suckers together. So I've got 4 of them already glued together. So it's coming together quickly. That is the nice thing about hot glue is it doesn't take long to dry. And these really do look quite spectacular. And there's lots of different ways that you can make paper bag snowflakes. But I've been trying to come up with the easiest. I've been trying to give you the easiest ways to do things because who needs a complicated craft right now? Nobody. Nobody needs it. All right, one more. One more. There we go. So I have glued all of my paper bags together, just that same line across the top, line down the center, so that they will hold together. So honestly, if you're not feeling very creative, you could just make a couple cuts on the end here and call it your snowflake. But it's going to be a little bit more exciting if we add some other things. So you're going to want a good pair of scissors. I do not have a good pair of scissors. These are not a good pair of scissors, but we're going to do our best. I did bring another pair down. These also, not a great pair of scissors, but I didn't want to use my good scissors. So what I'm going to do on this one, which is again kind of crumpled, I did most of my cuts along the edges here. This time I think I'm going to do some big cuts along this edge so that it won't be quite so round. It'll be more snowflake-esque. So the nice thing about the paper bag, of course, is you have that middle seam, so it's easy to see where the center is. So it's another project that you could make as hard as you want to make it. But if you just want to go easy mode, you're just going to eyeball things. If you wanted to measure up and then draw lines so everything's equal, you go for it. I am just going to go for it. So I've just gone on an angle up one side, cutting through all the layers of my paper bag. And then I'm going to do the similar thing on the other side. If you wanted, You could take one of the pieces that you cut off and put it as a little bit of a guideline so that things are at least somewhat uniform. Oh gosh, these scissors. If you haven't noticed by now, these are the scissors I use for absolutely everything. So it's not surprising that they're not that sharp. And I've never sharpened them because I haven't. So this side, I don't know if you can see, this side is a little bit, kind of looks like it's been through something, but that's okay. So now right away, you can see as I start to open this up, it's going to already make a nice snowflake. So if I were to give you a better idea, if I kind of bend this a little bit, you can see we've already got a pretty nice snowflake, but we're going to jazz it up a little. So I'm just going to cut some spots along the edge where these folds are. I'm not going to cut all the way to this edge. Just think about this as making a regular paper snowflake that you folded a paper up. Let's try these orange scissors. And I'm just going to make some cuts. You can make it uniform, so it's the same on either side. You don't have to. You can do whatever the heck you want to do, but remember to leave some folded pieces attached or else it's going to fall apart. You can even just go like straight up. And that's still going to add a layer of interest to your snowflake. These, both of these scissors are terrible. Now I'm not going to do the same thing on both sides because I'm like that. Don't use me as your guide for how to do the pattern. But I cut that slit up and then I put a little notch. Then up here I made another notch. And then maybe I'll try to do a heart. It's probably going to be upside down. And it's probably not going to work, but we'll give it a try. Oh, we got a little heart. We got a little heart. So just cut however you want to cut. And I'm just going to leave mine like this. We're going to do a couple because I want to try something. These are the instructions I was given, was that you had to glue these pieces together. But when you do that, you end up with a bit of a bent side in the middle. Anyway, the last thing you have to do, and you have to be careful, is you're going to put one more glue line up the middle and bring the two pieces together. And this is where it's going to be really easy to burn yourself. So try not to. But you want enough glue that it's going to hold it together. So it's kind of a catch-22. So I'm just going to line up the center. I don't know how well it is to see, or how easy it is to see that. And then I'm going to bring the ends together. And then try to press everything. Oh. So here, 8 bags is too many. Here is this star. So you can see that the bottom is more full than the top versus this one is pretty uniform. So I think maybe 6 bags is the magic number of bags. But I'm not hating it. I don't hate it. What I might do, though, is try to put a line up the middle just to glue I'll probably ruin it. I'm willing to take that chance to try and glue one of these bags together to see if it makes it a little bit less. It's still pretty. It's still pretty. So that is with 8 bags. This is with 6. Let's make another one. All right, this time I'm going to do 6. This time I'm going to make a smaller bag. So you're probably saying to yourself, Susie, how on earth would I make a smaller bag? Well, first you're going to cut the bottom off the bag. If you're just tuning in, we have a standard flat-bottomed lunch bags. We cut the bottom off the bag, and either you're gluing it, but I'm stapling it. I didn't put stapler in your list of things that you need, but it's working well. So I staple it. If you have the bags that are just flat, not flat, pointed on the bottom so they attach, you can just use those. But all I have are these guys, and that's what I'm using. So I'm going to use 6 bags this time, and we're going to try to make this a little bit different. And it might be a disaster, it might not be. We'll soon find out. I can see there's people watching it, but nobody's talking to me, so I don't know. I don't know who you are. I don't know if you're making a snowflake. I don't know if you're laughing at me. I don't know anything. I've been upstairs. I had a meeting this afternoon from the computer. Everything's from the computer. And then I've been trying to get all of the computer work stuff that needs to be done before Christmas vacation done. And I'm actually quite impressed with how fast I whipped through the majority of my to-do list in the last hour. And then hopefully I can finish it off tonight. Well, after we're done here. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so last time when I glued the bags together, I did a line across the top and then a line down. This time, I'm going to try just doing the line down, and we're going to see if it comes together better. Because when you glue them all together, in the middle, you end up with a little bit of a bend because of where everything's glued. So I have a hypothesis that it will still work without you gluing the top. So let's find out. Let's find out. So I'm just putting... So I'm just going to do that line down the center and see if that works. And I apologize for not getting the second camera set up today. I'm working in a bit of a mess because I got a new computer, which I'm very excited about. But it doesn't have the same USB ports. It has the new ones. So I can't plug any, I can't plug this camera or this microphone or my external hard drives. I can't plug anything into it until I get an adapter. So I'm at my desk with this computer on one side, the new computer on the other, doing one thing on one computer, one thing on the other. And it's a bit foolish is what it is. Alrighty, so we will find out if this works in a few minutes. But I said I was going to make a smaller snowflake. I still just have the same paper bags. I know this is how could I possibly do that? I'm just going to cut the bag a bit shorter. I know. And while I'm doing it, I might as well make it kind of snowflakey. What does that mean? Let's do an up. And then we'll go down. And then we'll go back up. I don't know if this is going to be snowflakey at all. I'll tell you what, 6 bags is a whole lot easier to cut through. Yes. Don't put that glue across the top. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think that we need to. Okay, so we're just gonna, I'm gonna have to vacuum. I got paper everywhere. I'm going to cut some things. I have absolutely no creativity when it comes to what I'm going to put on these snowflakes today. It's just like triangle, half circle. That's all I got. I got no other ideas, apparently. Oh, maybe I'll try going in here a bit. Remember, you do want to keep some folds holding together or else your snowflake's going to fall apart. Oh, man. Let's make this side. It looks like nothing, but I'm hoping that it's going to look adorable. All right, so here is my mess of a snowflake. Oh, that's going to be lovely. So now all I need to do is put glue up, throw it on the floor, glue up the center of this last piece, and carefully glue the other side to it. Want to be really careful so you don't burn yourself. This hot glue, especially after it's been sitting there for a while, is quite hot. Yeah. So bring the ends together. Be careful because that paper is not very thick. See how pretty is that? How pretty is that? You should try making them as an adult because they're equally fun. And then since I did them differently, I cut them differently, depending on which side you look at, it looks different. So let's make one more. Since I got these 100 sandwich bags, have just been sitting there forever. 6 bags is the magic number. So again, lunch bag, cutting off the bottom. If you have the bags that don't have the flat bottom, you don't need to do this step. I'm going to hang these all up. I don't think my husband knows what he's going to walk into any day when he comes home. So 6 bags seems perfect. But I've lost track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And once you cut all these bottoms off, assuming you have to cut them off, you need to affix the bottom together. So you can glue it, or I have found that stapling it works just as well. So I'm just stapling it 1, 2, 3. So I'll do that quickly. I'm lucky that there was even staples in the stapler because I didn't look. I just grabbed them and came down here. Whenever I have to use the glue gun, it's better to do it down here because I have more space. All right. So I've stapled the bottoms of all of my bags, and then I'm just going to put a line down the center. That was not the center, but you're going to put it down the center and then glue all your bags together. That very first one I made, I put it across the top. We have determined that is unnecessary. So a line of hot glue down the center of your bag, and you're just going to stack them. Don't burn yourself. And then just press everything together. We've got another stack of glued together paper bags. So you're gonna cut your design, whatever that is. So let's start off by making this one shorter by cutting it straight across. So I'll have 2 giants, one middle and one smaller one. So I've made my bag smaller. And then I'm going to, maybe I'll make this one pretty simple. Okay, so I made this one really simple. I cut it off short. I did 2 angles. Things are attached here, 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 and here, so it won't all fall to pieces. And then we just open it up. This is what it's going to look like. And then we just put glue on the inside. This might be a place for a glue stick, is when you get to this step. And then carefully meet the 2 ends together without burning yourself in the process. There we go. Well, it's a little bit crumpled together here. There. So we made another little snowflake. I know, snowflakes on a snowstorm day does seem like I planned it, but I promise you, I did not. I'll put that right there, wherever. So we made this snowflake. We made this one. Oh, I really like them. Oh, maybe I'll hang them over here. This is the one I made ahead of time. And this one. Yeah, you should make them with your family because they are awesome and they don't take very long. And can you see my glue stick is right down to the nub. So 4 was the perfect number because I do not have enough glue for a 5th. But what I think I will do as I pull up my pants, let's move this up a little bit. Let's move you guys up a little. I think I will hang them over here so they'll be like in the background for the rest of my pre-Christmas classes. I think that'll be cute. So that, my friends, is how you make paper bag snowflakes. Do you know what we're doing tomorrow? We're making wreath cookies. We're taking my famous Easter bird's nest cookies and we're revamping them into Christmas wreath cookies. So if you're going to make Christmas wreath cookies with me tomorrow, you have some homework that you need to do either tonight or tomorrow during the day. Yeah, I thought maybe they would look good against the red. So we are going to make the wreath cookies. The dough has to chill for an hour before we finish them, and we're going to come together to finish them, or you're going to watch me finish them, whether you make them or not. So I will reshare the event when I get out of here, but it has all the ingredients and the steps that you need to do before we go live if you want to make them along with me, and all the ingredients and all of that. Once a year is not enough. That is a fact. So we will make those. I've never made them into Christmas wreaths before, but I have faith. I have faith. What are we going to do? We're going to dye the dough green, and we're going to use red and green and white M&Ms and Aggies. It's not that complicated. So I will reshare that. If you want to make them with me, you will have to do a little bit of homework. I'm going to do mine tonight so that I have them ready to go. Linda Pinio, you can have, are you talking about the cookies? Because you can just have some of mine. You don't have to. Anyway, or unless you're talking about the snowflakes, I can deliver you some paper bags if you need some. Anyway, cookies tomorrow. What time? I don't know. Is it 3, 3:30, 4? Sometime in the afternoon. But we will make them and they will be delicious. So I will reshare the event for anyone who doesn't know what the heck I'm talking about, but I think y'all do. And I will see you then. In the meantime, I got to go figure out what's for supper and take care of the rest of that to-do list. So if you make any snowflakes, I want to see them. I need to see them. So send me pictures or tag me in the pictures. Otherwise, have a good snowy evening. Bye.